Hard first #1 for hip hop and R&B. I'm Jenny Boom Boom. Got 50 in the building. Tatted up Holly. Big fight going down Friday, July 5th at the Connecticut Convention Center. 50, you are quite the promoter at this point, huh?
I'm getting it going. This is actually the first show that's solely promoted by SMS.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so as a promotional company, get everything off the ground. I had a chance to put this show together with a niche actual staff, so it's close enough for me to have an understanding of everything and all the responsibilities involved in the actual show, so I could delegate them properly moving forward. So I'll put the right pieces, because I can't sit there every day and do all of the other stuff that it entails. It's a lot of
there's a lot
small details. Yeah.
So how involved are you with your boxers? Like, I've seen you in the gym, and I mean, obviously, I know, you know, you're there every step of the way, but how involved are you on a daily basis at this point? And well, how many boxers do you have?
Six.
Wow.
And I'm accumulating new fighters now. I'm actually looking for the right guys. And then what I did was I opened a gym in Las Vegas.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's a training facility out there. It's huge. It's a building actually. So I created the best possible environment for them to discipline themselves physically for the actual job. And then as far as day to day, I'm not with them every day. It's too many, 6 people every day. I'm moving around doing all. I go back to my 50 Cent life.
Right.
But they all have like management or people connected to them. They communicate with me with no problem, and they're aware. So they're notified. It's like it's almost a specific regimen in time when they go back to work, because it's like 8 weeks prior to the actual fight. They're in training camp. So it's 4 fights per year if the guy is made it to a position where he's back in the Gamboa position.
Mm.
You know, so when he's one of those top fighters that end up on HBO, undefeated fighter, 2 Olympic gold medals, 475 amateur fights, like he's really experienced. So they're conditioned for it already. That relationship.
Right. Is that the best fighter you have?
Well, I got some good fighters.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
but who's the best, 50? Who's the best fighter you got?
I like all of them. I wasn't committed to them. see what you're just saying is...
You sound like a parent right now.
Yeah.
Like, I like all my kids.
You say that, you gotta say that. You kidding me? You gonna say, oh, this one's the best. Of course, Gamboa's in a slot where he's a priority.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When you say, who's the best one? They're all good fighters. You don't want to discourage them in any way or have them hear you say that and mentally embrace that and never actually be as good as they could be.
What made you decide to want to have this event in Connecticut?
Well, Connecticut is my home away from home. It's the first place that I got a lot of love from when like on the mixtape circuit. They really, a lot of people don't understand it, but like within Hartford specifically, like I came to perform out here, and the energy is what I said, man, I like it out here. I performed on a big stage later. Mm-hmm. And
I remember that. I remember when everything was brewing, because, you know, I've been out here since 2001.
Yeah. And
I remember when everything was starting to brew and everybody was talking about 50 Cent, 50 Cent, 50 Cent. And, you know, and it's like we all could see that you were coming. We could all see what was about to happen.
Yeah, but it's interesting because you don't think Connecticut, like you don't think in Connecticut that it's going to be like that. And they're so aware of the actual culture that I was coming on the mixtape and it was exciting.
Right.
And it was like, yo, it was crazy. I was like, yo. Then when I came out on the big stage now, I said, I want to live out here.
Right.
It was far enough from the city for the police not to be all over me. Because they was all me crazy. Like I was like, we don't need security. They the security detail. They're right there.
Right.
Like every time we came up to play, everything. So it just was, I needed to relax to get away from all of that. And this was the right place for it.
And you still have the house.
Yeah.
And I heard you were there last weekend having a party?
I did. I had a barbecue for my grandparents.
Nice.
So they had everybody out there and people from the church, everybody came.
So are you going to keep the house or are you still, I mean, I saw it's still for sale.
Yeah, I might take it back off of them.
Really?
It's been sitting for, you know.
It's been sitting for a while. But I know that you were trying to get the money back that you put into the house.
Yeah, like I was just making lifestyle changes. Like I say, I don't want to have like 2 and 3 really big properties like that. You know what I mean? So, I saw something else that was interesting that I might buy another place. It's a bigger placed in an average home. So you don't want to develop this overhead of money that has to go out every year.
Right. That's a huge property.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like 3 houses in one.
Easy.
Or 5 houses in one.
Yeah, you can easily say.
Well, good luck on that whole thing. We would love for you to stay. We had some good times over there.
We sure did. I want to shake them up. I can't party there. That was the second option. Like if it didn't work, because like with Holly, Tatted Up Holly, she's the actual host of
the birthday bash and the after party for the fight.
Right, and it's in the actual convention center. So it's like in a different area in the convention center.
Right.
So
Which I think is an amazing idea. Because you go at the boxing match, have a great time, have a couple of drinks at the boxing match, enjoy yourself, you know,
Yeah.
And then head on over to the after party July 5th. It's just going to be, I'm so looking forward to it. And how old are you going to be, 50?
Oh, I'm going to be 25.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you look.
I'm going backwards now.
You still look 25, so you're good.
Yeah, I got to stay in shape too. I'm trying to get myself together.
Trying to get yourself together. So how did you two meet? I'm just curious about this.
Through mutual friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 50, you just saw like this girl right here, she's a model, she's a hardworking woman. Like, what was the appeal?
Well, she hasn't actually modeled. She hasn't actually.
Well, she did a video. You were in Fat Joe's video and
Yeah.
some other stuff. So
Well, one
she's
video-
like a video. Well, I guess I'm gonna call you video vixen at this point.
Or once you do
Yeah.
one, you get okay. We get that title.
Yeah.
I just I saw. When you hear things like our nightlife in New York City is interesting, it's different. Right? So she can actually explain it to you. Like it's when you hear about a person consistently
Mm-hmm.
in circles that you don't
You only hang out in.
right,
Mhm.
and you keep hearing it, and you go, yo, so give me her. She the new girl that they keep talking about. She had put her on the actual after party. So
Right.
I did it first in those different areas because it happens. It's like Buffy the Body. She was in So Seductive, her first actual
Right.
video. Angel Lola. She was in Hands Up. Was the first music video she was actually in. And then who else? Like Rosa Costa. We put her in funeral music. The first video she was in. So when you actually take, I like to work with people in the very beginning of their
The stages, right. And look at how far you've come, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
you want to keep yourself like. Why do you like even when you approach the music videos and different things like that? You want something new.
Right.
So it feels as hot as new. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want the same thing that you
Right.
saw before. Even though if you put a poll between a really attractive woman, then we could build her.
Right.
Put her legs, her arms, everything. She's perfect. And then we put her next to somebody that they recognize. The person they recognize going on all the time. It's like take a girl that we know. We didn't put whoever face on everybody to build the girl. And then you put her up against your Kim Kardashian or somebody who has consistent coverage. And that person with the coverage.
Look at you, Tatted Up Holly, who you're being compared to.
I know.
Yeah. So, what about your album? Because we were hearing that it was going to come out in the beginning of summer, and then it's not coming out. Obviously, I guess this summer. We're waiting for the album. First of all, I love that song. So like every time it comes out, I'm like, oh my god, I freaking love this song.
You know,
so
what's been interesting? There's been so many staff changes at Interscope that it makes me uneasy with putting my project out at the moment because I want them to get comfortable in their positions before. I don't want to be the guinea pig.
But don't you feel like at this point in your career, with you being who you are, with such dedicated fans and you putting out amazing music, that you can pull almost like what Kanye West did, like pull a Kanye, I'm going to say, because he did something that most people never do.
Right.
He just came out with an album
Just put it out.
with very little promotion, no single. Like, don't you feel
Right.
that you could do that?
Yeah, but why?
I don't know.
Like, I don't know. Like,
Just to-
why would you actually do
Just
that?
to give us something?
I see. Look, if I'm gonna give the public a gift,
You're going to give them a mixtape,
Right.
right? Yeah.
I work more than them.
Right.
The people that we look at, like I do more writing than to just for my core audience and for different groups that enjoy my music.
What do you like better? Do you like to do the whole mixtape thing? Because I know like Fabulous told me last week that he likes to put out mixtapes, which he's been doing for 4 years, because there's less pressure involved in a mixtape.
Right. Well, the artist is really being an artist on the tape.
Right, they're just being themselves. They don't have to please the record company
Right.
and
No, it doesn't matter because people are not going to purchase it. So it doesn't create that, how good was it? If we can't even use like record sales to determine how good the project was. You gotta look at it and say, do you still want to listen to it? Because half the time we're consuming the music and listening to it off of something that doesn't detect the sale. They can't look at how many times you played it on YouTube and say that there's an interest, specific interest generated based on that. Because it may be 50 versions of that song. 50 other people took your song and had another account registering people playing it. So you can't look at it and say that number's accurate, because so many people would take the content and use it for their personal use.
But will this be your last album with Interscope? I was under the impression this is your last album.
Well, yeah, it's the final requirement.
So then after that, what would you do? I mean, couldn't you just put out albums without, I mean, you have enough money. You don't need any more money.
Yeah, I don't need to.
I mean, I guess I could say everybody always wants more money, but you technically really don't need any more money. You're set for the rest of your life till you're like, die forever.
Yeah,
So
I'm gonna leave this to these kids and stuff. I'm gonna have some kids.
you're gonna have some kids?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, you have a son. So, he's like this.
His mother
Yes.
has a son. His mama got a son.
But you know, I mean, you wouldn't.
I was there when it happened. But
you wouldn't even need a record label. You don't even need one.
Well, in this climate, being independent is not a terrible space. Like, look, when I actually came and I actually wrote what you would call a mixtape now in song format, is because I didn't want to be put back in a batch of artists that can really rap, but they're not good songwriters. It's like the guys is battling each other. They got bars. There's like a whole lot of real interesting punchlines in the actual work, the writing that they're doing. But they can't write the right song to get them into a good position in life.
Right. Because it's not even about how good you can rap anymore.
Right.
It's about you having that song.
Right, so I didn't want verse one thing. So I wrote in song format. When an artist is handing you a CD, say, yo, this is my mixtape, and you hear verses in the chorus and then verses in the chorus. He's doing something that happened after I did 50 Cent as the Future. You see what I'm saying? And they're doing the same model that I actually created and did at that point. And now the difference is everything is all your devices. Your telephone has an HD camera, so you got the ability to create the video content necessary to have it played and viewed on YouTube. You can develop a following. You see, like
right, yeah, you don't even need to have
artists
the
like
traditional.
Keef,
yeah.
He's in his grandmother's living room, like getting it off, and people. So it says you don't even need production values.
So talk to me real quick about that. Your appeal, the Chief Keef's appeal. What is the appeal for you?
Well, Chief Keef project is the 50 Cent project. It's the same project. In the beginning, he's completely influenced by the environment.
And he continues to be, though.
Right, but that's the nightmare. He's gonna go through what actually happens, and he's gonna get bumped around. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you catch on and you start to actually say, well, what's the roof of the situation? I want to be at the highest point I can actually take it in this actual situation, and you start being conscious of your actions and things that's going on around you, then you can actually evolve into something significant, because they don't see people do it under the circumstances. They'll continue the regimen of what they've been doing. And I think, like, I actually was attracted to the Chief Keef thing because I was like,
that's me.
I can help him.
Right.
I know what to do.
So what's
Look,
the
just
advice
do
that
this.
you have given him?
Nah, I'm just telling them.
Because he continues to get in trouble.
I mean, he didn't listen, so I wouldn't actually offer that even to the general public.
Okay.
You know, to reach out to him and actually talk to him, I did that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, and he's a man.
Right.
Young
he's
man.
17.
He's a young man. My son is a year younger. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm talking to him, he don't have to take it. I'm not his father. I'm not his.
Right.
You know, that's his business. Like, if there's certain things that I look at and go, if you play your hand this way, it could be good. If you go them other ways, you're gonna have a hard time, man. And the bumps in the road, they're there for you. It's not like you exempt to everything else that's there. If you stay really, really close to the environment that you're in from the very beginning, You subjected.
Yeah, he's got to move out of his neighborhood.
You're gonna be subjected to the same things that it is.
So real quick, you have a show, a TV show coming on the Stars Network.
Right.
Tell me about the TV show.
This is scripted.
This is a big deal.
Yeah, well, I'm a big deal.
Well, I feel like it
This
is,
is
but you know, it's exciting
No.
for us because, you know, you've been producing the movies, you've been doing a lot of stuff, you know, film-wise and stuff, but for you to be involved in this show, like, this is
Yeah.
going to be an amazing situation.
Well, I have 4 shows picked up right now, different networks. I got on the Sundance Channel, I got Dream School, you know, and it's providing opportunities during the actual show where they get kids to drop out of actual high school. Every 26 seconds, someone drops out of school in America.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I did that with the Sundance Channel. It'll be actually airing in October, and I have a project, an animated television show on the Fox Network that is actually adapted from the book Playground that I actually created about bullying. And I got a reality television show, VH1, G-Unit reality.
And when is that going to be coming out?
Well, it's getting ready to start.
And they're going to follow you through, like, your daily life and all your business ventures, from what I understand, right?
Well, they won't be following me. They'll be, like, in the actual office and things that are actually going on there.
Okay.
So when I'm in the office, you'll see me, but, you know, other things when I leave, I'll go out and do everything else I'm doing.
Cool.
Yeah, and then there's the show
there's
that
the
you
Stars.
talked about.
Yeah.
It's the scripted drama. Mark Canton and Randall Emmett are producers with me on that actual project, and we got Courtney Kemp, and she's an amazingly talented writer. She actually, together we actually created the vision for what it actually was, but because we spoke to each other so often when we went to go talk to the network, they'd see the actual passion in it, and I started creating musical content that made connected to the scenes. So it went from your traditional pitch to a listening session. Every time we actually went somewhere, and it's exciting. So it's the Stars Network. They understand how influential and how strong the actual project will be.
So when is it going to premiere?
Well, we actually get ready to start. It's going to shoot.
Oh, it's going to start shooting, okay.
It's going to be shooting
So
in
it's
New
just
York.
starting.
Yeah, we're shooting it in New York.
Great. Well, July 5th is going down, Connecticut Convention Center. 50 Cent, I'm just calling it 50 Cent's big boxing match. I know it's like an ESPN Friday night fight thing, but I'm calling it a 50 thing.
They got to make it to the Tatted Up Holiday After Party. It's Big 50 Cent. I got her hosting.
Yeah, big birthday bash going down. And we're going to see her there. She says she's going to have like 100 bottles, so I'm just going to sit in her VIP. That's what she said. I was like, all right, cool. We good for that night. July 5th, ctconvention.com, ctconvention.com to get your tickets. And 50, thank you so much for bringing this event to Connecticut, because we're all very excited about this. All right. It's Hot 937.